Waiting here. Should be getting started here just in a few seconds. There we go. We're off. $300 in Link's house, but just a map at... Looks like it was just a map in the sanctuary chest.
Well, it's just a map, so we know that there's at least one more item somewhere deep in the escape, and looked like 3 crystals on that map check from Kappa, with a red crystal, I think, being up on Hera.
Yeah. And very interesting, the blue guard's dropping bombs. Tree pole gives us hearts. Be interesting to see. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, since the drops have changed, pretty much we know the guards are going to be dropping bombs. There's a part of me that kind of almost would want to do a bomb escape, since you're going to kind of get bombs farmed from the guards.
Yeah, you very well may. Those prize packs can be still randomized, as a whole prize pack. But if you're getting bomb drops off the guards, by all means, escape is open for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ganon doesn't take my advice, which is probably smart, and just heads for Sanctuary, and most likely he's going to head for Kakariko. Lumberjack did only have 10 arrows, and Bush Crab's dropping 20s, so Kappa's making sure to get some cash.
Yeah, Kappa's making bank off of those hoarders, and picks up this lantern in the middle of the Lost Woods.
Early lamp, always good to see, literally and figuratively. And more cash in the Lumberjack cave. Kappa decides to nope out from there. That's interesting.
It is a bit interesting, but I don't think he's picked up any bombs yet, so he's probably going to see what's over here in Link's house, and then if he decides to farm for some bombs, he'll have them for, Kakariko Village.
Well, he decides so he's going to the shop to buy bombs. It'll be interesting to see if he decides to go ahead and do Saha's closet since he's here.
I gotta believe that's the more likely play, since he's already over on the east side of the map.
Yep, dropped down, and Lake Hylia Island got us glove today.
Well, we know that flippers are going to be, somewhat soon having to get that glove. GanonsGoneWild is making his way into Kakariko Village just with 2 bombs, so gonna have to find at least one more to fully clear out Kakariko.
And we got a piece of heart to start. A heart container. Another piece of heart. And powder.
And over with Sahasrara, some arrows, some bombs, and a bee in a bottle.
And another piece of heart. So, Blind's hut, very healthy today.
Kappa's still not making his way over to Kakariko. Gonna go south to the dam area. So we won't see Kakariko for a little bit on his side.
Alright, we got literacy. Bloopy. $20. Sword. And the flute!
My personal favorite. So we got a sword and a lantern. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
That it's time for the playing of the national Swag Duck Anthem. Also, Dear Lord Aga.
Yes, both of those thoughts crossed my mind. So that cape, that sword, and that lamp definitely opens up Agahnim. Still a lot of checks we haven't seen, particularly Mini Moldorm. There's the whole Eastern Palace area, and there's a couple of other one-off checks. Unless we find some key items, we're looking at Aga.
Well, and especially we're already one short, because that glove, you have to be in the Dark World and have flippers and mirror. So, unless the other glove is somewhere nearby, like, we're already one Dark World access item short. Well,
Ooh, a hookshot and a bow in Mini Moldorm.
whoa! So that gets us all of Eastern Palace and East Death Mountain. So, I mean, you've got early Aga, but there's enough stuff there to make you kind of not risk it.
Yeah, until that Mini Moldorm, I would have said Aga was a sure thing. Now, you kind of put it off. You also have Desert open with that book.
Yeah, you still can't kill Lammo without having the glove, but you can get in there, you can see what's on the torch, you can do the whole front part. Kappa's got to be careful with only half a heart, though. Another piece of heart on the library. And inside Ice Rod Cave, more sticks.
Race game with some more sticks, too.
Alright, Ganon's gonna do Dam, which I would assume mean he'll also do Mini Trolldorm Cave. Well, he might go to Desert also, but hopefully he'll head to Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, he'll head to Mini Moldorm, and with that hookshot and the flute, it looks like, Death Mountain might be open for him. Kappa's taking the south way into Kakariko rather than going up through the sanctuary area. Interesting.
And taking that right turn means Ganon is going to go ahead and do Mini Trolldorm Cave. Whoops, got a little too happy with that, with the menu and got the cape instead of the bombs, but got it taken care of. Oh, I was about to say those mini trolls weren't being obedient, and then the one turned south right as the explosion was going off. So lucky there.
Yeah, that was nice use of the bombs to get both of them. So here's the thing. Before going to Death Mountain, since you have all of East Death Mountain open, you have access to get the crystal in Eastern. What would you probably do first? Looks like Ganon is going to check out some more of the overworld here in Ice Rod Cave first.
I mean, my policy is always if a crystal dungeon is available, do it. So, if I was running this, honestly, as soon as I got done with Ice Rod Cave, I'd be making a beeline for Eastern.
Yeah, always dive those dungeons. Kappa getting the bad news that it's signaling Aga.
Although turning that B into $100, smart move. And yep, Ganon is heading for the eastern area. We'll need to do Hospitalist Closet first, but then most likely head into Eastern. Game Bunker asking about, I'm assuming the B giving you $100. Is that vanilla? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, one of those things you're not sure how people stumbled upon, because I don't think he even mentioned anything in the vanilla game about buying anything off of you.
No, I mean, it's the same thing with the fish. I mean, you get a bunch of stuff with the fish turn in, but the vendor never really says anything about it. It's just kind of one of those hidden things you have to know about. But Ganon into Eastern. Ooh, fire rod.
So regardless of finding that lamp, we could still get into the back of Eastern Palace with that fire rod in V31. That is in logic.
Yeah, that's in the advanced logic. Kappa gonna go ahead and turn in that mushroom. Since they got powder, they don't need to save it for fake powder and just a big 20.
Yeah, mushroom's not going for much these days.
No.
But getting a mushroom so early on, you gotta think that there's a good chance something is behind it. Not today, though.
That's always the toughest thing when you don't have powder and you're wanting to save it for a potential fake powder glitch. It's like, I want to hold on to it, and then it's that one time it's the Moon Pearl and you end up last locationing it.
So we did get 2 items out of Eastern already. If this is a item in the big chest, we do not have to go all the way to the vanilla big key chest. And it's the Master Sword.
So, yay! Master Sword! Boo! Even more reason maybe to do Aga.
Yeah, this is just screaming Agahnim.
And Kappa's gonna join Ganon in Eastern Palace.
Now, those Stelfos will jump right back away from you.
Mm-hmm. Nicely done getting rid of those red Igors. And now time for the Armos Knights.
Two good setups here to do a quick kill. Looks like he's going to do the bottom right corner and bully these 3 and these 4 into the corner. Gets the quick kill off of that and just gets a map, but a crystal.
Yep.
So first blood, less than 13 minutes in with that Armos kill. We still got a lot of checks in the overworld to go too.
And we'll see where Ganon heads next. He's gonna turn in that mushroom as well.
Kappa about to get this Master Sword out of the big chest. Head right back to Armos.
Yeah, for those talking about it in chat, I mean, Aga 1 is kind of looming right now, but the thing is, you've got 9, 10 checks you can do on the mountain. You've got 3, 4 in the desert area, but Ganon is apparently not going to listen to any of that. It is at least going to do escape. We'll see if he decides to do Aga as well.
So this is either a good heads-up play or a risky gamble from Ganon. Still having all of Eastern, just like all the checks you just mentioned. So he's going to go down to escape, though, so we'll see.
We will see. Kappa demonstrating the other possibility for a quick kill. And gets it done. $50 first item in escape. Now there is 6 items here. Depending on where the key is, you can get to the 3 items in the back. So this isn't exactly a bad play, just not as item dense as the mountain would be right now.
Now, if that key is in the back, you can't get to it because you would need the glove to get in through the tomb in the graveyard.
Depending on what we find in the front, you could do a hard reset and just grab the key from the front if you wanted to. Alright. Kappa, meanwhile, is making the Death Mountain play. Ganon's setting up a Death Warp, so we'll most likely check Dark Crossroads. And another piece of heart.
It's a really good thing that was not his 4th of 4 hearts. He would have got a full refill there.
Yeah!
After doing all that Death Warp setup.
Yeah. I mean, with how much red stuff we're finding, I mean, this seed, I think, is brought to us today by red things. Sometimes it gives us money, sometimes it gives us health, sometimes it screws us over in a Death Warp. Red things. There's a lot of them.
So he's going back to Dark Cross. He's looking for that key still if he wants to full clear Eastern. And Kappa making his way over to Paradox Cave. 7 chests over there, so still a good possibility you could find some progression elsewhere other than Agahnim.
Alright, well, we got the 7 items in Paradox Cave as the Dark Crossroads shows us. This seed brought to you by Red Things!
No kidding. Half magic and the boots over in Paradox Cave. So even if Desert Palace is boots locked, that is no problem for Kappa at this point.
Ganon gonna go over and check Desert. And just sticks on the island. I missed the first 3 items in the Paradox Cave, but we got a blue shirt and a piece of heart. Oh, apparently we got Merle
We got
there.
the Moon Pearl too. So Paradox definitely the right play at this point in the game.
Yeah, boots will certainly mean the front of Desert is full clearable, but there's still that whole thing about needing the glove to go kill Landmo. An ice rod on floating island, so at least we don't have to find that.
And since it's out in the open, you know that Turtle Rock is not going to be required, but at least we'll have the ice rod.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a 3 in 7 chance, given that we've got 3 crystals in the light world.
Yeah, all pendants are in the dark world, so who knows what's going to happen. The Spiral Cave, more red things.
Alright, so we've got Spectacle Rock, which we haven't seen. One of those items we can't get. We can't get to Back of Escape without Glove, and you've essentially got 2 items in Desert, plus Agahnim Cave.
Well, Kappa's also opened up Bonk Rocks.
Oh, yes! Yes, you're right, with Bonk Rocks with the boots. So that's 4. One's now taken care of because of the big 20. The big 20s of Spectacle Rock, the seed brought to you by Red Things.
Now, Kappa went into Ice Rod Cave. He's storing a Water Walk, and with that Water Walk and a Moon Pearl, he's going to clear all of the Waterfall and Zora area, too.
Yep, now this will be a sequence break, so...
Well, he's probably hoping to sequence break himself out of Agahnim.
Mm-hmm.
Agahnim.
So
Agahnim.
far,
That's
it's fine. So far, just a piece of chivalry, though. Zora Ledge, having a big 20. And, well, since it's early on, there once was a fish named Zora who gives you flippers and vanilla, and Rando, he sucks. For $500, we did this stupid trek for blueberries.
So maybe that shovel leads to something. Not so likely that it does, but I'm sure Kappa's still holding out hope that he doesn't have to do Agahnim at this stage.
Chadbert giving us a tier 1 sub for 7 months in a row. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Your support is greatly appreciated. All right, the shovel check.
Strike to the earth. Just a bloopy. Sorry, didn't mean to step on you there.
No, we're good. So Kappa, when Kappa set up that water walk, he did not go up to the hobo, so he's going to fake Flipper back up there.
Yep, that is exactly what he's doing. Or not.
Nope. Misdirection.
Oh, Bonk Rocks. Okay. And a bottle of blue goo. Ganon gonna do his own fake flipper, so maybe we'll finally get that hobo check. Or not.
Or not. Not just yet.
Oh, there we
Kappa,
go.
though. Kappa headed into the castle. He didn't do escape. GanonsGoneWild has. So we will see how far he goes. Maybe at this point he concedes to the Agahnim play.
I mean, it certainly seems like it's pointing that way. Unless, like, I don't know. Unless, like, Hammer's in Desert, and then the other glove is in Hera. Like, we're now at that point where it's more than likely it's probably an Agaseed.
I mean, it was signaling it 4 minutes in, so I'm not surprised at this point. Okay, back of escape for Kappa. GanonsGoneWild going to pick up those extra bombs for $500. Yeah, we do still have all of Desert, well, at least the front of Desert and Agina's Cave to check out. No one's done that yet.
Now we have had, I think Kappa did a lumberjack check, and we know that's just arrows, so we don't need Aga for the item. It's just a matter of, is it required for Dark World access?
So 23 minutes in, these runners have pretty much covered all of each other's ground. They're funneled into just Agahnim or Desert at this point.
We'll see where Ganon decides to flute to from here. Kappa doesn't save and quit, doesn't bother with the Death Warp. Ganon heading back to 6. So this is for Desert. Alright, Kappa heads back in. Dark Crossroads will get his cane.
Kana Samaria is back in the Dark Cross where Kappa is headed. He'll get that in just a minute. Our first chest here in Desert, just a map, so there is a key, big or small, up on the torch.
Which means we were boots locked, but with those boots being on Death Mountain, we're going to be able to do the front. So at this point, you've got 2 potential items here. The one in Agahnim's cave. Those 3 things do not have anything that can avoid Aga. It's time to go take care of that wizard. So there's a compass. Big key will be in its vanilla location. So one item will be in Lammo. And Kappa's going for it.
I mean, you got to go for it. It could be something like, say, mirror, and that gives you access to Tower of Hera. It could be something like hammer, right? And that might open up something for you. Does that open up anything for us immediately, though? Doesn't matter, just a red rupee.
Oh, Ganon forgetting about Agahnim's cave, though.
Oh, yeah, he's going to abandon that, but, you know, he does, and so does Kappa, so, you know, kind of a wash there.
But yeah, mirror or hammer both would get us access to Hera. But unless one of those is in Agahnim's cave, this is an Agaseed.
Okay, so after these runners do Aga, they'll get access to the Dark World and definitely access into Pod, but not having the flippers, not having the gloves, not having the hammer, you know, and the hookshot. No, they do have the hookshot, but they can't really get over to the west side, so they'll be just moved into the east side unless they find something like that on the pyramid.
Yep, there's that one portion of land where you've got a hammer and 2 rocks and the river. So you either need flippers, hammer, or glove in order to use the hook shot to get across. But it is time for everyone's second favorite game here. How many blue balls do you think the old wizard's going to throw at our runners today?
All right, so today I'm going to guess 2. I don't think it's going to be more than that, but I think it'll be 2. You?
I'll say 4.
Okay, so we'll get a couple cycles off of Aga and get 4 blue balls, or 2 blue balls, or any number between 0 and 15, I think, is the possibilities.
Yep, because first one will always be a yellow ball that you can fire back. Next 3 are randomized to be yellow or blue. Hey, there's a blue one. Then the 5th one will be a bolt of lightning, and then we'll spin again. 2 blue balls, so you're already at your count. All right, 2-2. And so the thing is that if you don't miss any of the yellow balls, the max it can be is 15. But there's the required one, so now we're at 3-2. 3-3.
Yeah, I'm out.
4. 5.
Ooh, this is kind of a mean Aga.
Now, with it being a race ROM, both runners are going to get the exact same number of blue balls. So one runner isn't going to have an advantage over the other. But 4 and 5. 6. One more to go. So the max will be 7. But nope, 6 it is.
6 a bit on the high side, but gets it done regardless. Now into the Dark World. We're going to get a pyramid check, and then depending on what that is, we'll see where we go. Looks like we have a pendant on Pod, Swamp, and then a green pendant on Ice.
And a 5 crystal at Mire. So we will need that ice rod we saw on the floating island. Pyramid Ledge just having $100. And Grey Corvid, congratulations. You were the first person in chat to guess 6. So you win a year's supply of nothing. And we got a raid from the ALTTP Randomizer channel with a party of 101. So, hope that race went well. We're 30 minutes into a pretty certain Agus seed. We still have an Agahnim cave check that neither runner did. But we've done Eastern, we've done Death Mountain, we've checked Desert, and like I said, we're down to Agahnim and the pod area for some form of progression.
Yeah, that's right. We're almost 99% certain that this is going to be in Agassi, just that one location back on the Light World. Thanks for joining us on that raid, and hope you brought some coffee for some late night rando.
Finishing up the recap, we know that Floating Island has the ice rod, and we know that one of the gloves is on Lake Hylia Island, so Mirror will certainly be needed even with the Swamp House being a pendant. And Ganon's about to get a rude reminder that, dude, you can't go that way.
Yeah, by the time you hit that area, you typically have something that will get you past, either the hammer or the gloves. So not having either is a bit of an uncommon situation, though it does happen.
But both runners are going to be making their way into pod. So far, just their usual keys in the front. And maybe a party in the back as we go. Ooh, there's the mirror.
So there's some progression there. That definitely opens up Tower of Hera. And you will need that in order to get that glove on Lake Hylia Island, as you referred to earlier. And you'll need it for that ice rod.
Alright. 2 items on the Bowlock side. Big key. And small key, so...
Using the conveniently found mirror to get back out into the front, not having a hammer to continue on that right side. And so he gets to go to the back, where all the fun is.
Yep. Yeah, for those that are just joining us, all the runners pretty much have done everything. The only difference is Ganon was the only one that did Desert. Both runners did a fake flipper. Although neither checked Hobo for some reason. And both did front of escape, but with the glove not being available, they couldn't check the back. So we know the small key is in the back.
So only having that one item as the mirror up in the front of pod, these last items, and I believe on Helmasaur, would all be items themselves. There's a bottle, our third of 4.
There's a compass. And the seed brought to you by Red Things.
Yep. Having checked everything, no hammer to continue. Gonna mirror out. Gonna have to flute away. Let's see where he goes.
Hera.
Oh, of course. Has the mirror, has a fire source. So Hera's fully clearable.
Alright, so... Pedestal access is... or pedestal seed is pretty much on life support. because the only thing that really can be on there is the medallions for Mire or Turtle Rock. We've either got everything, or what we don't have is needed. Basically, it's all needed for ice. Titans, Mids, Hammer, Flippers, they are all needed for ice, so therefore, yeah, not going to be on the pedestal.
Yeah, the randomizer's already given us an Agaseed. It'll show a little bit of mercy. So we get an Ether Tablet check on Kappa's side. More red.
More red. Alright, big key first item, so coffee break is on hold. And Ganon gonna join Kappa in Hera. This seed brought to you by Red Things. Kappa, the big one doesn't work on the small door.
Yeah, it's not going to fit. Now, the only other thing I could think of is trying to find that good position to set up a Hera pot.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He got it. Well, there's a small key for that door. And there's the second red thing. So, I guess Agahna's cave maybe has to have something now, because
it's kind of the only thing you have left.
Yeah, because Mirror only helps us with Hera. Graveyard Ledge, you would need some way to get across the river. K45, you would need the hammer. And Checkerboard, obviously, you need Titan's Mitts. So, something's in Agahna's cave, but even if it's probably... It's probably either the hammer or the flippers.
Most likely it's going to be, hammer or a glove. It definitely could be the flippers, and then your next progression could be hobo. They didn't do hobo when they did their fake flippers.
Yeah, neither runner did that.
Okay, so we've got a worm fight. Moldorm coming up on GanonsGoneWild's end.
Three Master Sword spins and the troll is done. Yeah, boots were in Paradox Cave along with Moon Pearl and Half Magic.
Now, GanonsGoneWild... Oh, he just needed to pick up that second item.
Yep, he just didn't do that. Alright, Agahna's Cave. Hammer, glove, flippers. One of those three things has to be in there.
Yeah, now Ganon's Gone Wild skipped this when he was in desert, saved and quit and went somewhere else. So he long ago could have had the hammer. Would have served him very well earlier.
Yeah. That gets us to West Dark World. That also allows us to finish Helmassar, but I don't remember... I'm trying to remember if there was an item on Helmassar.
I think one item is left, because we found that compass in the Dark Maze.
Now, this still was an Aga seed, because even if you got that hammer before doing Aga, you would have ended up having... You would have still had to do Aga because of the fact you didn't have the other glove.
Now, just imagine this. We haven't seen Hobo, and both of these runners did a fake flipper, did not do Hobo. What if a glove is on Hobo?
I'm gonna laugh profusely when we find it.
Alright, we'll get a couple of these North Dark World checks, starting with the King's Tomb, and shortly after there, I'm sure we'll get a Graveyard Ledge check. First up, though, we'll find the Flippers.
Flippers and King's Tomb, so that will get us the first glove.
Yeah, that first glove now accessible on the Lake Hylia Island.
And Kappa getting a rude reminder that just because you're a duck doesn't mean we give you flippers. Alright. Cave of Moderate Disappointment. Heart Container and Graveyard Ledge. Red Thing. Kappa, there's like 80% of the stuff left. Cash, sticks, Red Thing, and Bombos.
So Bombos could turn out to be something. We have 2 crystal dungeons that need medallions, but that is a pretty poor hype cave.
Another red thing on Bumper Cave. And Ganon gonna head in and do Skullwoods. I mean, with that Fire Rod and Master Sword, you can certainly full clear.
Yeah, he's definitely got everything he needs for that crystal on Mothula. So we get a K45 check. Let's see what we got here. Blue things. So, nothing yet.
So far, nothing inside Skullwoods as of yet. Blueberries for the first item. 3 digs for a red thing, and Kappa says no mas. And even though that was a small key in the V31 Advanced Logic, there actually can be something in the pinball room. So, kids, don't forget, now you actually need to do that room if you're doing Advanced Logic.
It's actually kind of changed a little bit of the routing that you see from some runners. Most runners will go to the back and hit this chest first on Ganon's end. All right, Kappa getting his flippers, and now those webbed feet on the duck will work.
Oh, I love having half magic in Skullwoods.
Yeah, you just tear apart everything. Those mummies, those torches.
Alright, time for them off. Now, we've gotten at least 2 blue potions, but hey, Ganon doesn't need that! Moth is dead, and a compass. So, still looking for 1 item.
Yeah, so we've got 2 possibilities. There's the item underneath the bridge on the way to Mothula, and there is the big key chest. Big chest if we find that big key in the chest under the bridge.
Kappa gonna go get those gloves. See if he decides to do hobo. Swag in Skullwoods. Man, everyone's avoiding hobo today.
Yeah, no hobo, and then Ganon did not immediately go back for that pyramid check, but here we go. Let's see what's on pedestal. Just a little piece of love.
This pedestal check brought to you by Red Things, because unless it's a hook shot or a cane or a fire rod, Red Things disappoint on the pedestal.
So we get a catfish check. Catfish today with the other glove. So there's the Titan's mitts for Kappa.
Alright, so that cackle at the hobo I was promising you isn't gonna happen.
Okay, so we now have access to a lot of things here.
I got access to Mire by proxy of the ice rod. Well, we don't have access to Mire because we need Quake for that.
Still plenty of checks over here. We got the Mire Shed, the Checkerboard Cave to pick up a shield, and more red things. And then there's also access to ice, if we so choose to go there.
Can also finish Lammo. You can do Smith Chain. A lot of things you can do. Meanwhile, Ganon is heading into Thieves Town.
Fully clearable crystal dungeon, you might as well do it. There's the Quake.
Especially because you need it for Mire. So, at this point, we're just a Turtle Rock pendant away from Go mode.
My goodness, you're right.
Because we know Ice Rod's on Floating Island. Alright, so we got 3 items in the front of Thieves Town.
That's actually the other place we could check. We could check Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I would probably... If I was in Kappa's shoes at this point, as soon as I kill Lammo, I head for Dark Death Mountain. That way I know for certain what I have to do in order to finish the seed, because if I'm potentially just a coin away from Go mode, you want to know sooner rather than later. And a 300 on Lammo.
And if it's Bamos, there's a chance he could dive in there already. Get that ice rod off of the floating island and then finish it off.
Especially because Turtle Rock is one of those dungeons that, with exception of Laser Bridge, you're going to end up full clearing it anyway. So if it is Bombos, I'm with you. I'd just go ahead and do it. But Kappa ain't taking our advice. He's heading for Northwest Dark World, which will most likely mean a Skullwood's Thieves Town play.
Well, this will work out for him. Of course, he'll get the crystal off of the 2 dungeons if he goes all the way through, and then getting that Quake medallion. We don't know what Turtle Rock is. Could easily be Quake. Still waiting on that last item here in Thieves Town. I don't think we've seen the 4th item.
Nope. And since Ganon doesn't have a glove, has to kill the enemies and go the long way. Now, if the key is not in the maiden cell, that means it has to be locked in the big chest. Which means blind. Well, yeah, there's a small key, so...
Yeah, blind will never have that key, so if you haven't found it, my maiden's chest, you won't find it.
But blind does have the 4th item today.
Alright, introducing the master of puns, Blind. Oh, that's terrible.
Isn't it always? Alright, well, 9 whacks at the sword, no matter what level. 9 whacks of anything, let's be honest.
Almost anything. Sword will do just fine. There's a few items that might not work, and some that work better than others. But Blind drops another red thing, and a nice shiny crystal.
Kappa, meanwhile, working on Mothula. And gets it done.
So both these runners at 4 crystals. Wow, there's another sword. So GanonsGoneWild picking up his red sword. But anyways, both of these runners at 4 crystals, really close, even though they've diverged a little bit. Kappa having gone and gotten his gloves and cleared out desert. GanonsGoneWild hasn't made his way over to get that that glove off of Hylia Island, though.
Yeah, he went the north route as soon as he got his hammer. So all these checks here that Kappa has already done are ones that Ganon will need to do. So I would imagine immediately after Hype Cave, you will see him most likely go get the gloves off of Lake Hylia Island. And then that will kind of get him going from there. Kappa, meanwhile, doing a pedestal check, so he as well knows there ain't nothing on there he's going to be worried about. Yeah, Ganon gonna have to go the long way to get to Hype Cave. Both runners did turn into the mushroom.
Now, Kappa's in a good position here where he can also do the Smith Chain after he clears out Thieves Town. Have the gloves as well.
Oh, Bombo's tablet. Forgot about that. Alright, Kappa has his Quake. Quack is back for the duck. And more blueberries.
Yeah, little bombs in the Bombo's tablet. So he's got to go get those gloves off of Hylia Island really to advance to wherever he needs to go. Obviously, we know it's going to be Catfish, but those gloves are going to be real limiting.
Oh, no, Ganon, no!
Well, put yourself in Ganon's position, though. You know that gloves are on Hylia Island. You know there's going to be gloves somewhere else, and there's no need for gloves in Swamp Palace, which has 6 items. It's not that bad of a play from his perspective.
It's not. I will grant you that. The only thing I would say to counter that is that I could understand the thinking of, okay, you've got to go, like, if something is in here, it is going to be a long walk to get back to Swamp. But again, Lake Hylia Island has the glove. That's how you would get back super fast. I can understand the thinking, but I would still at least get the glove first.
Yeah, you'd get the glove first. Then you can, at least you could clear desert. You've already got both items out of desert. But after that, every crystal dungeon is going to require those mitts, and you got to find them somewhere. Swamp really is just as good as any, especially when you consider 6 items in one spot versus 1 item way the heck over on Catfish.
Not to mention, neither runner is even Chocobo yet. And they've fake flippered to do everything else.
Well, they fake flippered, and then they've actually flippered through Lake Hylia and have skipped Hobo entirely.
Now, chat bringing up a good point. There is one scenario where this swamp play turns out good, which is if ether is what is needed for Turtle Rock, and it's in here. Chad also asking, do you go mode Mire and Ice? I think he means Mire. I mean, Ice is a pendant, so you wouldn't go mode Ice. Do you go mode Mire, or do you go check the requirement first? I would check the requirement first. Do the 6 on Dark Death Mountain. Check Turtle Rock. If it is Turtle Rock, or if Turtle Rock is one of the 2 that you have, then just do Turtle Rock, go get Mire, and then be done.
Yeah, I think that's an overall good route, given what we know already. So red mail deep inside of Swamp Palace, not entirely what we're looking for, but again, this seed brought to you by Red Things.
Nicely done. Kappa, meanwhile, does not take our advice, and this most likely is a play for Meyer. Which, again, 2 items, if the placement is lucky, you can, in theory, go mode it pretty easily, but just kind of depends on item placement.
Yeah, I think at this point, he's just going to gamble go mode for the rest of this, and having 2 of those medallions, he's just going to chance whatever's up on Turtle Rock he has.
And the thing to be clear is that, you know, we're saying we would do one thing versus what Kappa is doing. We're not, you know, by no means am I an expert in this. I didn't qualify for this tournament, but it's not like the same thing to your point with Swamp. It may end up being the wrong play. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad play. You know, you've kind of brought up your points about the fact that there were 6 items in there. You know, Meyer, you know, it's a crystal dungeon get done. Like, we're not necessarily saying these are bad plays just because we disagree with them. It's just, you know, there's difference of opinion in terms of what you think can and can't be or would be the right thing to do. Me personally, I like the more knowledge I can have, the better, to then use that to affect my routing.
Hey, look at this. We get our hobo check.
After checking literally everything else. Oh, look, it's a red thing. This seed brought to you by Red Things. Reminder, when you're in an area, if you can check everything, don't wait an hour to go back.
Now, to kind of go back to what you were saying about, where do you go? Is it a bad play? Is it a good play? Is it the wrong play? On paper, there's a lot of right plays for any given situation, right? And sometimes it just doesn't work out. Even though the math is probably in your favor, it just might not work out.
Yeah, I mean, just because, okay, hypothetically speaking, TR is Ether. We don't know right now. But if it was Ether, and it's buried deep in Swamp, this time it was buried deep in Swamp. Next time, it's going to be in Crystal Mire. It's not... just because, something happens to be somewhere, you're still trying to make decisions on, how many items are in one location versus another, which kind of plays into the chances of progression being, having a better chance of progression being in one place versus the other.
Now, I didn't actually notice it, but Kappa set up Spooky, so he was able to clear out that room really quickly with that fire rod and the Spooky glitch setup. Chasing after that anti-fairy, decides it's not worth it and gonna burn a blue potion.
And gonna use Cape Dash strats to take care of the small eyeballs. Mow them down literally and figuratively. And then poke the eyeball with 8 sticks, and down he goes.
So 2 boss fights, 2 crystals. We just got 1 left to go for Kappa.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing. It very well could be Ether is your key to Turtle Rock. And it could be in Mire, which Kappa go-moded. I don't think he got more than 1 item in there, if he got an item at all.
What is Ganon doing? He doesn't have Titan's mitts. What's he going for? Oh, Spike Cave? Spike Cave, that's what he's doing. Well, Kappa is heading for Turtle Rock, so we will know shortly if Kappa is in go mode. And that'll be huge if he is. If not, we're looking for an Ether Medallion. So, 3 hammer pegs max. Get to the portal and survey says 1 hour, 6 minutes, 55 seconds. Kappa is in go mode.
Yep. Not so fast, Chief. He's got to get the ice rod first, but he is definitely in no mode.
Semantics on what it is. I've heard people call it one thing, people call it the other. He knew he had the ice rod there, so details. But
it's just around the corner. Lift up this rock, head to the back across the invisible bridge, and mirror across to get your ice rod. And yeah, you're practically in go mode. I'm just busting you up.
That's fine. Some people say it's not go mode till you have all the items, but technically it's go mode because, well, he just blew past 4 item checks that his mind he doesn't need to do, so he's going. So, who knows? Who cares? Kappa's on his way to this last crystal. And GanonsGoneWild is disappointed.
Although GanonsGoneWild has no idea what Kappa has and hasn't checked, Catfish is one of those out-of-the-way locations, so it's very possible Ganons is banking on Kappa, also thinking Titan's Mitt was late for Kappa.
Alright, so GanonsGoneWild goes in. Take this opportunity real quick and remind everyone that we're getting quite the race today from GanonsGoneWild and Kappa. So please be sure to give both of them a follow on Twitch, because they're certainly deserving of that for the entertainment they're giving us tonight in the late night rando action.
Absolutely. Thanks to these runners, and also thanks to you for sticking with us. Coming late on a Wednesday evening, Thursday morning, depending on where you are.
And there's still going to be plenty of rando this week and next week. There will be a break for the holidays, and then we get into the bracket stage for the remainder of this tournament. And yep, with 2 small and a big key, Kappa ain't worrying about the chain jumps. He's just going.
Isn't it possible there could have been a small key in that chest, though? That he needs?
Yes, but the thing is, I think it's possible. It has to be 2 and a big key within the first 5 checks. The thing is that Kappa's just gonna steal the key from the pokey, not check vanilla big key. And then there just needs to be one more, and then you avoid laser bridge.
Right. So with what he has, and he's in go mode, he is able to skip this lava chest, because that would just be trading a key for a key. But yeah, there is going to be a key, small key for him later on, which he'll get. He just could have maybe picked up a small key here.
Now, I'm not as proficient on my Turtle Rock logic, but I may be wrong, so I'll put that qualifier there. I think it can only be 2 small and a big. I don't think I've ever seen 3 small keys in the early checks.
Well, he's making a really big gamble here, not going for the big key chest either. But he does have that second key in the crystal roller room, so he's set.
He is set. Phileon in chat telling me that you can get 3 early small keys, but it's rare.
See, this is why these two are in the tournament and I'm not. Because they understand this logic a little bit better than I do. Quick refill of hearts from that anti-fairy, and Kappa's on his way to hit that 3-headed turtle snake.
Thingy. Got simultaneous bosses going right now. Vitreous down for Ganon.
And both of those heads on Trinex also quickly down. This third one going to be down just as quickly with a few swings of that tempered sword. And if you would like to play along at home, we play a game here where we like to guess what the Ganon's Tower big key chest is going to be.
Yep.
Which number 1 through 22. So get your guesses in chat.
No bot still, so we're just doing this for funsies. Lumaga, what's your guess?
1. I'm going to gamble big, and I'm going to say it's going to be 1.
Yeah, we'll go 15 for old Ice Armos.
Yeah, reminder for chat, 1 through 22, whole numbers only, please. Half numbers don't count.
I mean, technically the bot's not in action, so really it could be whatever people want it to be. But again, I have to do this on my do this on my own. So
I mean, you can guess, you know, decimals or pi or e or whatever number you want. You just won't get it.
Because as much as I minored in math, can't do math that fast. Anyway, number 1, red thing. Number 2, red thing. No small key, so you gotta go left. Three, small key. Rip Bob, we hardly knew ye.
So now you got to think. Put yourself in Kappa's shoes. They both last location the hammer, right? Which would have been great for them as they went into Dark Room. There's the big key, chest number 4. So congratulations if you guessed 4.
Finish your thought while I go see who won this game.
Sure thing. So I was going to ask if, you know, you did Dark Magician or you did full left side, but it's moot at this point.
Okay. GFX Ambassador guessed number 4 correctly. So... Cyclone asking what today's price is. All right, fine. I'll do it. GFX Ambassador, you have won a year's supply of Randomizer seeds. All you have to do is go to ALTTPR.com and claim your prize. Offer only valid to version 33 of the Randomizer. Offer completely ignores the fact that anybody can go to ALTTPR.com. The Randomizer is for everyone. However, Randomizer lasts longer than 4 hours. Please consult the spoiler log. Have your doctor check you for eye suck items, which involves an addiction to powder and potions. Terms and conditions apply. Void where prohibited. Japan 1.0 ROM not included. But at this point, the randomization is done. You got Tempered Sword. Unless you find silvers in one of the last 4 chests, you're not going to need it because you're good with Tempered Sword. It's just you versus the gauntlet at this point.
Yeah, this is all execution in these dozen screens or so. And then, as you mentioned, the only thing that could make a difference here in time would be silvers, which I don't know that Kappa would really have a problem without.
And now for the most satisfying rooms to get its tower. I don't know how many seats I've commentated. It is still so fulfilling to see those Dark Wiz robes go down with 1 cane block.
Yeah, the sequel's even better than the first one. Giving a little bit of a pause just to make sure that he doesn't despawn the rest of the tower and put himself a little bit behind. But with that, he's out of the gauntlet. At this point, just ignoring the chests, even though they're right in front of him, just wants to finish this seed. Got to get through the second round of Moldorm first.
And second round of Moldorm done. And Blueberries in his last possession. Come on, kids. Just remember, don't be a thief. Don't steal things that don't belong to you.
Penultimate fight, we got Aga 2 at the top of the tower. Just has to get 6 of these reflected back. Starts off with a nice double. And a triple double for Kappa.
Very nicely done. So, time for some bacon. Ganon mentioning, please don't stand close to him. Good luck with that, buddy.
A bit of a police fan. So, gets through the first phase with no problem. Already onto the second, getting some spins since Ganon is close enough to the wall. And already onto phase 3.
Yep, 12 sword slashes on Tempered Sword. And into phase 3 we go.
GanonsGoneWild also picked up his 7th crystal, so he is also on his way to Ganon's Tower.
And with no silvers, it's spin and win time! 12 Tempered Sword spins and the pig is dead.
Yeah, with this, just got to make sure you relight that torch. And there's a small window where he is vulnerable to spins, and I believe that's already up to 4 or 5 at this point.
Yep, if you're in a good spot, you can get 3 per cycle. Otherwise, best you can do is 2. So as you see here, Kappa is setting up, so they can do a 3 cycle, but misses right there. And down he goes!
Down he goes. Get your GGs in chat for Kappa, who's going to take the first of this first game in this best of 3 series.
Yep, just has to wait for the fanfare to finish. Walk through the door, and Kappa finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 19 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat. Oh, hey, Kappa's with us. How you doing, Kappa?
Pretty good.
So, that hammer. How about that hammer?
Oh, it had to be somewhere. I found it eventually.
It was funny because leading up to the Aga climb, we both were like, "There's like a small chance where like hammer could lead to glove and totally make the Aga play null and void." Well, we got half of it.
Oh, yes. It's like, yeah, there's a good chance there's something there, and they're like, nah, I'm here at the castle, I'm gonna climb, I'm gonna kill Ag.
How were you feeling kind of heading into that once, like, you know, you go into pod, you get a mirror, that really only opens up Hera, and you still end up, like, last locationing the hammer?
Like, yeah, cool game. Like, I got it mostly, it's like, I got it mostly right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, Catfish really just came down to be the difference in this race, because, you know, once you got your glove, immediately, you know, went and did Catfish, whereas Ganon basically last location, Titan's Mitts, and even with that, you know, he's not far behind where you were.
Oh yeah, it's because you know, a lot of people say they think they're behind. I did not think I was behind. So I was like, okay, let's try not to die by doing all the safe strats, except I don't actually know what the safe strats are.
Yeah, once you got, you know, that glove, you kind of headed into go mode. That was really what was blocking your access to most of those dungeons, except we didn't yet know what the Turtle Rock medallion was. You were just hoping that it was not Ether, I guess.
Oh yeah. I mean, the only thing I did, but I still made sure to clear out TT, and then the only thing I actually left in Mire was one item in Mire, and it's like, oh, it's fine. It can't be Ether. So, like, just go up and do it.
Yeah, so that pretty much, that'll give you the first win of this this round, how you feeling heading into race number 2? Obviously, Ganon's now going to get to choose the one thing he's going to get to modify. Any thoughts on any of the modes, or are you pretty comfortable with, I mean, it's honestly with this tournament, the changes really don't affect it all that much.
I know. Pretty minor. Pretty much cool with most that you can make.
That's good.
Yeah, get the glove off the island, and I'm like, wait, I got my first glove in the Dark World. And I'm very close to Catfish, and well, logic is as logic does.
Mm-hmm. As it is so wont to do. Unfortunately, Ganon took a Troll Dorm full. There we go.
It's good because I was 100% going to water walk to that glove otherwise, and it might have taken me a while to get the Catfish. If I didn't find the flippers there.
Oh, of course, Ganon is swagging it up. Time doesn't matter at this point, so gonna give us some hover strats.
Yeah, show it if you got it. So, Kappa, actually, you did make, a couple of plays there in Turtle Rock. You skipped the Chain Chomp chest and you skipped the Big Key chest, both of which could have had small keys, which you would have had to go back for at least one of them. Were you just willing to take that risk at that point?
If in the first 3 chests of TR I see a big key and 2 small keys, I've never seen a small key in Chain Chomps, so I just run past it now. I'm sure this will burn me eventually. I've never seen 3 small keys before you go downstairs, basically.
Yeah, we were mentioning it in chat. They were saying it is possible, but it's rare. Someone in chat asking, is Game 2 tonight? No, Game 2 is actually tomorrow night. This is the last race of the evening before we get into all of the action for tomorrow. Another packed-filled day on the Speed Gaming network of channels. First race tomorrow is going to be on Speed Gaming 2 at 12:30. Scary Olive versus Tedo. On the main Speed Gaming channel, F. Coughlin versus Def King at 2:30 p.m. All of these are Eastern times, by the way. And let's see, we've got a double header on Speed Gaming 4 starting at 4 p.m. We got Christos Owen versus Jay Coper. Game 2 and Game 3, if necessary, after race number 2. And we might have had I think GanonsGoneWild might have accidentally cut his stream early.
Yeah, we'll have to give this just a second to see if it comes back. And regardless, we'll see if we can get him in once this seed finishes.
Yeah, check in with him now. I like how chat just said Ganon's gone offline. That is true. That is true. Okay, we've got Ganon's Gone Wild in chat saying his computer died. He said he can assure you he lost. Well, GG's to you anyway, Ganon's Gone Wild.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's.
He's saying a collection rate of 135. Which makes sense considering Ganon's Gone Wild did do the swamp play in last location, the Titan's Mitts at Catfish. So, all right. So I think with that, and as Ganon's Gone Wild says, Mitts were in the worst possible spot. Basically, I mean, yeah, most people hate going to check Catfish.
Well, while we have Ganon's Gone Wild in chat, at least, we had asked, any thoughts about Game 2, what we can look forward to as far as settings. Maybe we can get an answer from him here.
Anything you want.
He said probably 6.6, which, again, that's the thing, is like some of the settings are nice, but it really doesn't change. It's not really going to change it all that much, but 6.6, 6 to enter Ganon's Tower, 6 to kill Ganon. You'll still have to climb the gauntlet, but it won't be a fast Ganon, I don't think. But yeah, we will. That race will happen on Speed Gaming 4 at 11:20 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, please check the schedule, because again, we got tons of rando going on. Going on tomorrow. So, Kappa, any final thoughts before we wrap up shop here?
Nothing. Catfish sent me help.
All right. Well, thanks to you, Kappa. Thanks to you, Ganon's Gone Wild. Both of you, please be sure to give both of them follows on Twitch for the work that, or for the race that they've put on for us tonight. It was certainly entertaining to watch. Want to give a shout out to our tracker, Hanson. Did a great job keeping track of all the items that we had to find along the way. And Lumaga, certainly was a pleasure having you in the commentary booth tonight.
Absolutely a pleasure working with you too, Jex.
All right. And with that, want to give a shout out to all the volunteers behind the scenes that are making this tournament go, as well as the volunteers in the Speed Gaming network of channels. So, for Ganon's Gone Wild, for Kappa, for Hanson and Lumaga, I am Jex Reffi. Thank you all so much for watching. We've again got more rando on the Speed Gaming network of channels tomorrow, so please be sure to stay tuned. We'll see you all next mission.